The honourable member of Parliament for Buem is Kofi Adams, and he's joined me on the line. Honourable Kofi Adams, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Sanda.
Are you one of the 48 who signed and said that the removal be, or the reshuffle should be cancelled?
Good evening, Sanda. I'm a member of Parliament for Buem and representing also a political party, NDC. I'm very much aware of how leadership is put together in Ghana's parliament because I've been a national officer for a very long time. I will not sign a petition asking leadership to do such a thing. If I have any concerns, I have how I will engage. And so I am not one of those who have put a signature to such a document.
But are you aware that there's any such document floating around?
Well, like you, I've also heard that there's a document like that some persons place their signatures on, or they are writing their needs to petition. But I think that we haven't gotten to a point where this should happen. And it's very clear that we must have some understanding. Umaru, when we were going for recess, the deputy majority leader gave indication that Parliament was to return on the 24th of January. Mr. Speaker raised some concern that the authority of calling Parliament is his, and that he will not take kindly to leadership fixing or proposing dates for Parliament returning from recess. If I tell you that yesterday, 24th, a number of MPs came to Parliament thinking that Parliament was to resume yesterday, would you believe it? At least I encountered two. The Honourable MP for Amenfi Central and Honourable MP for Central Plain. They came to Parliament with the understanding that Parliament was returning yesterday. Now ask yourself, why would you think the party leadership, in wanting to do the reshuffle that they did, will time it yesterday? Because there could be some assumptions also. Just like MPs came to Parliament thinking yesterday was the day they were expected to return. Party leadership would also be working with the understanding that yesterday Parliament will return and there will be that opportunity for an engagement. Unfortunately, Parliament did not return. Letters had moved out that same yesterday. And you guys in the media, you have a way of intercepting your information and documents. So you intercept it, you put it out there. There's a need for engagement. That discussion is out there. That is why as MPs, we must have a way of handling this situation so we don't create problems out of where there should be no problem. Clearly, our national constitution, if you look at Article 110, recognizes that Parliament itself will have what they call standing orders, the standing orders of Parliament, and that 110.1 is subject to the provision of this constitution. Parliament may, by standing orders, regulate its own procedure. When you come to the standing orders as we have it now, which was approved in the year 2000, you get to the preamble side of the standing orders. Order 7 talks about interpretation. Order 7 deals with interpretation of certain terms or words that are used commonly in Parliament. If you look at who a minority or majority leader is, the standing orders define or interpret who a majority leader or minority leader is. In this case, let me deal with minority leader. Minority leader means a member of Parliament designated by the party. It says a member of Parliament designated by the party or party and or members forming the minority as they are recognized. Umaru, simple understanding is that if you take the words in the order that they appear, our own standing orders that we develop as Parliament, recognize that it is the party that designates, or the parties, if they are in alliance, they designate. It is only when they fail or they don't act, then the members forming the minority can now recognize somebody. Then when the party acts, the members forming the minority will have to accept the action of the party. I've been in the party and I've known how over the years we have done this process. I agree that you need to consult those who are coming in. You need to inform those who are exiting at least sometime enough before the public announcement. If those things did not happen, then we have something to deal with. But I'm told they happen. My checks indicate that it has happened. Now these have come. What we need to be doing is to see how we will manage the situation. Like I heard the tail part of Honorable Sam Jo's presentation. The 3 new persons coming in are persons of also high standing. They are no mean persons. I hear one of our senior colleagues say that this is not the time to make any non-entity an entity. None of this is a non-entity. These are all of them are ranking members. Some of them have been ministers or deputy ministers before. And so to be a ranking member, it's like a shadow minister. To be a minister before and to be a deputy minister, what again do you need? Some of them, they are in their 4th terms, some are in their 3rd terms. In Parliament, after 1 term, you would have mastered most of the processes. Adding a 2nd term and in your 3rd term, there's nothing more to actually learn again, unless you are not serious about your parliamentary business. So none of these persons coming in are coming in as non-entity. So if any one of us want to describe any colleague that way, I think that we may not be too happy about what has happened, but we must be measured with the words that we use, both on our colleagues or to describe the process that have happened and to engage the party leadership. I am very much convinced that engagement will surely happen. And so we need to take our time. We shouldn't rush and crash. We need to take our time. Surely we will not have these processes end without the party leadership, the chairman and the general secretary, as has always been the case, coming to engage. Sometimes the national organizer and the communication officers will come along. When I was there were instances where, as organizer, I joined the engagement. There were instances where, as Deputy General Secretary, I have joined engagement with Parliament. So let's wait and see, and let's not make it as if the party leadership has no intentions of engagement. Indeed, we recognize that our wing, parliamentary wing or group, is an organ of the party. Our party constitution recognizes that. Article 10(1)(c) of our party constitution recognizes that the parliamentary group is an organ of the party. Just like the way we have the youth wing, the women's wing, we have the parliamentary group, we have the Zongo caucus, we have the foreign chapters, and we have any other group that the National Congress will recognize. Like we did recently with Pro Forum, they have become kind of like an affiliate of the party, and they come under the rules of the party. The only problem here is that in the case of parliamentary group, we have not developed any regulation to govern our process. And so it remains the party always deciding. What is novel about what is happening now is that this is the first time a political party is changing its minority leader. That has not happened before, both for NDC and MPP. From 93 to 97, the minority leader served the full term. From 97 to 2001, late J.H. Mensah served his full term. From 2001 to 2009, Right Honorable Speaker then, Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Baggy, served 2 terms as minority leader. Honorable J.H. Mensah from 2009 to 2017 also served 2 terms as minority leader. This is the first time we have had to change the minority leader. And because when you are a minority, you are basically not in government. So when you are changing such a leader, you are not moving him to any place. So it becomes news. Majority leaders have been changed, and it really never created so much news out there because they have been moved from that leadership to possibly another leadership point. It has happened both under MPP and NDC in terms of majority. But it has never happened with minority. This is the first time it's happened. And you do not have any place to send such a colossus to. You're moving him from the front line as leader, then into the house as just a member. That's also where some challenges come in. All these have to be managed and managed in a way that the party will be able to succeed. I believe that it was for good reason, it was for good strategy that what was done has been done.
Okay. If there isn't any such meeting till 7th February, because your General Secretary said to me yesterday that the decision is not going to be reversed, if no meeting is held with the caucus, like your colleague Sam George, for instance, is demanding, on 7th February, what do you think is going to be happening in the chamber when your members arrive and you have the front being occupied by Kizela Tuforsin and the other members who have been named? Do you think there's going to be a revolt? If there's a revolt, what's going to be the consequence? What can the party do?
Well, Umaru, I'm very sure that one, the meeting will surely happen. Two, our leaders, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu-led leadership, knows that the party made the decision in 2017 for them to be in leadership. If the party decides what it is that they have decided now, there is one person that will make sure that he will never disobey or disregard a party's decision. I know about that. I know many persons. Look, anytime Honorable Haruna engages, he tells us that, look, for him, nothing influences him. If he's moving around, he's moving with his white cloth because he doesn't know where he will be called. When he's called by the maker, that's all that is needed for him to be buried. So he is someone who organizes his life and know that God determines everything. That's what happens at the next moment in your life. If that's the decision, I believe that he is prepared to live it. Once nobody is making any allegation against him that he did something wrong, he did something against the party or against the constitution of this country, that is why such a decision is being taken. But it's just a strategic decision to position the party in a way to make sure that we win the elections that we are all aiming to win. Ghanaians are yearning for us to come so we can save them from this maladministration and distractions that they are suffering. He will abide. And I believe that we will get there and we will cross it. But surely, I know meetings will happen. Not just a meeting, but meetings will happen.